All right, so we have today 4 very esteemed performers who did very well in this competition. I would love to hear you. I'd love to also ask you before you play if you would say a word or two about your piece or about yourself, something. If you want to say, you know, I've been taking this piece around and I've won 3 competitions with it, or I've just really begun this piece and I'm just putting it together and I'm amazed that I'm here. Something that you'd like us to know about you and this piece of music. I've had it for 5 years and I just revived it. Something that you can tell us about you and this piece of music. That would be really great. I would appreciate that. All right, let's begin with Theresa on the Mephisto Waltz. What a way to begin. So this is what we call her kitchen version, and she doesn't want anyone to see what her teacher said, things like, don't do that, and your fingering is terrible. But I love those copies, and those are the ones you look back on when you're 40.
So I'm about to play Liszt Mephisto Waltz, and I've been working on this piece for a while, and
You can take it.
I've been working on this piece for a while, and I hope to finally grasp the meaning, I guess, of this song and play it, put my own twist on it, but also play it as Liszt intended, and just make it more, even better than I'm already playing it, I guess.
Yes. start the day. How does it all feel on this piano, by the way?
I feel like,
Repeated actions. It's very deceptive. At first, the pianist will say, you know, I think it's a light action. And then they think it over and they say, this isn't a light action, is it? No, I've actually put some weights in it. Not much, it's only 55 grams. It's not more than you need in Russia. It's okay. I didn't put too much on it, but it does have, it still has spring. I'm asking you that for a very good reason. I think this is a fabulous job, and I'm sure if you've been with the piece for a while, you know that its biggest downfall is how exciting it is, and that it's almost impossible to select the most exciting on a page because everything is saying, no, it's me, I'm the most exciting. And so the pianist has a big job in pacing the information. Otherwise, it sounds like an acrobatic experience, an athletic event. Like, oh, she played Mephisto, and you know that's just an athletic event. I think it's actually a delicious piece, and my biggest suggestion for you is to cultivate more of the piano sections. Mostly, even when you're playing piano, you're playing mezzo forte. And so we need to get your sound universe a little more expansive. And when you're building a crescendo, do it later. You tend to say this about a crescendo, and I'm suggesting right at the last minute. Finally, just as a general remark, don't slow up on your decrescendos. Don't slow up on your decrescendos, especially in the bird section. If you're going to make a decrescendo, don't go dee da dee da dee da dee. Birds don't do that. Why should you? So just evaporate. Just let the sound fall off a cliff. So decrescendos shouldn't be attached to retard. Crescendo should be later. And let's talk about the piano sections. May we go to the incredible tune for a moment. Well, let's just start for a moment. I do need you to attack it and get out of there as fast as possible on the second note. Yeah. So this way, I noticed something about, you have fabulous fingers. Could your hand do it and not your fingers? So your hand did it. And have you ever just shaken water off? Yeah, yeah. Could you just shake your hip? Just move your hip a little bit. Yeah. Don't turn it into an athletic event. Just at your hip. A little more suggestive. Now that's where your fingers come in. You do this. So it's all fingery. Now what happens if you just rolled your hand? You just did this. Keep your fingers open. Don't do this. So if you were pouring lemonade, you just turn your hand over, right? Put your thumb on top here. Pour lemonade. See that? Your whole arm went. Your fingers didn't go deedle deedle deedle. Now do that. Yeah. Now, if you pour lemonade that way, or you just roll your hand. C. You see how fingery that is? Try one hand. You're already worrying about the C octave. Don't worry. Do this for me. Unzip your parka, Theresa. Yes. Yes. That's not fingering. That was a hand moving. Yeah. And you can catch the C. You have to learn how to be, how shall I say it, slightly criminal at the piano. Instead of sitting there, oh my God, I have to play an octave. You barely have to play that thumb. Barely. This is where I'm going to give you permission to be slightly criminal. Where I don't care about the low C, and neither should you, right? Because we care about it. And if your thumb makes it, that's great. And if it doesn't, who cares? We have bigger fish to fry, which is a certain sound. And that's your parka.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's a little more interesting. And now your hand is washing, just shake the water. Yeah, it's not yet, it's too soon. Keep it in the piano longer.
Okay, so I shape the, okay.
That's what I mean by just getting loud too soon. Can you hold it there? Try it again. Yeah, that's you and your thumb. And then back and forth. Now we're doing. You and the piano are going to have a hammery kind of experience. All I want you to do is kind of sway back and forth. In this world you're living in which Theresa is called upon to have fantastic fingers, if you had done 2-5, you say it's a little thing that's a big thing, Theresa. You chose 3-5, and that's a fourth. And even for your big hand, that's a tiny bit of a stretch. But if you did this, why don't you twist it? Keep straight ahead. Yeah. There is a feeling that you can find fingering that's sort of handing instead of fingering, where your hand is happy and the hand is open over the notes and your finger is on the B and you know that. So why create that?
I'm not entirely sure. I guess I just went with this thing.
Oh, you're worried about it. Show me your stretch between 1 and 2. Can you reach an octave? Then you have no excuse.
Okay.
If you have that great hand, then you should do this, not this. Look at the hand difference. You feel it? Yeah. Also, the third finger and the fifth finger should never go out on a date. They shouldn't be in the same chord. Don't do 1-3-5 when you can do 1-2-4, because 2 and 4 are the same size, and 3 is much bigger than 5. They don't belong together. It's horrible. That's great. Okay. Pick up a suitcase. Pick up a suitcase. A light suitcase. Well, that's a different stretch, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. Good girl. Keep it up. Keep it up. See what I mean? So there's just a whole lot of opportunity in this piece at piano. And if you just keep it as the most important option in almost everything you're doing, you'll find, oh, I can shape this idea better. I can go further with this idea. Getting the forte gets me stuck in a place too soon, and you know what I mean. Let's go to the tune. What do you think of this tune, by the way? Just that much. Would you play? What would you play that? Just what do you think of that? What is it? Did you know anything about it? As part of this story, why is it called the Mephisto Waltz, by the way?
Is the waltz part
Because what?
in the story or in the...
I mean, why would Liszt call this the Mephisto Waltz instead of Waltz number 1?
It's a dance with the devil kind of thing.
Something dance with the devil. So what's this got to do with the devil, this little melody? What is the devil doing right now while you're hearing this tune? In this story, what's he doing?
Trying to convince.
He's playing the violin, sweetheart.
Oh.
And he's seducing a young girl. And he's wooing her with a very sexy tune. And he's trying to be very alluring, very captivating. He's just the opposite of scary. Except I find this very scary in some ways because I know his intentions are not all that great. He's written it offbeat. So nothing is right until then, right? Ooh, F is off. My students have been recording all week and they've destroyed a freshly tuned piano. All right, I'd like you to take 2 hands and play it. Two hands. Now your left hand's gonna maybe play the E and your right hand can play the F. Fool around. And when I have to do it, I'm not going to do that with one hand because that's just poking into my piano. I'm going to take a chance to maybe do 2 hands there. Let's take any better fingers, like make yourself comfortable. Just those 3 notes. Da 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 dee. Da 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 dee. Da da dee. Why would you choose 4 when you could choose 3? I'm asking you to, get comfortable. I might even choose 2. Have a little fun here, honey. Yes, like want your fingers to feel good. I have a feeling they're very soft. Yes, are you soft? Yeah, you're very soft. Okay. That's why your fingers work so hard, because you are made out of mush. Look at this. You are a mushy girl. By the time you're 30, this will stop. This will stop. But be sure you don't get bad habits between now and 30. try with two hands? All right, so I'm going to give you some words. Let's make up some words. I had a marvelous student from Korea named Ji-suk Park. She arrived at 15 without a word of English. And we sort of grunted at each other for about 3 months. It was a ghastly experience because she was beautifully talented and all we could do is grunt. I didn't know Korean, she didn't know English, but she was very quick and she picked it up soon. Anyway, I gave her a song without words by Mendelssohn. She brought it back to her lesson and it was terrible, absolutely terrible. And I said, Ji-suk, make up words for each note. It's a song, not a piece, it was a song. Make up words on this song and then come back next week. She came back, it was gorgeous, and there were little Korean words under each note. I said, Ji-suk, this is beautiful. What are these words? And she said her first English words, never tell. I guess she decided she would never tell me what those words mean because they were kind of like maybe a little love story, I don't know. But right here, those 5 letters, what would those words be maybe if you made up words?
Yearning?
It's certainly not let's go out and buy some bread, right? It's got kind of a mood about it. Dee-da-ya-da-dee, won't you come here, dear? Or let's go out for a walk. There's an emphasis on the B flat. Dee-da-ya-da-dee. You are so lovely. Something. Now, can you do that with 2 hands and then do it with 1 hand? So it sounds like you are so lovely. Okay, here's what I heard. You are. Did you get it? The piano is more sensitive than. Try better finger. And imagine you, I'm going to ask you to do it on your thigh first. Play right here. Did you feel how you kind of push into that thigh a little? But you didn't want to push so hard that you hit the bone, right? So now play the piano like you're playing your thigh. There's a sweet spot on that key, honey, that it's going to feel just like your thigh if you look for it. Uh-oh, you hit bone. Wow, wow. The piano is very sensitive, very sensitive. And if you can get that, I wonder would you try it now with 1, and just go right and left. Don't go down. Just go from here to the right, and then back, and then I'm kind of swinging in my hammock here. Now try it with 2 hands. Just go up to the F. No, I mean with the accompaniment. Play your thigh. It's great. Could I change the way you think about this? Could this be? And then there's something called, oh, by the way, I'm really a violin, Mephisto, devil. I am really the devil. Make it to the F and then stop. Yeah. F is too far away. Da, da, dee, da, da. And can you keep this a little quieter? You're using your arms to play the piano. Right now, I think you can just use your hand to play the piano. Only is much later. It's like I just thought of something. Yeah. No, you're waiting too long for Ed. Your right hand to have about 5 pounds. 5 pounds. Weigh 5 pounds. And I'd like your left hand to be about 2 ounces. So they're very different weights. Try it out here. Play it. Good girl. Okay, I saw it. Okay, let's see what happens. But the pedal's down, and I want you to play this whole thing with your third finger, because you got so many little finger things going on here. I just want you to make a tune. Tell you why. There's a marvelous story about Van Cliburn. Do you all know who Van Cliburn was? Shake your head if you know who Van Cliburn is. Yes? Yes? Okay. So he's passed away, but he won in the late 50s, I think, the Tchaikovsky competition, the first American ever to win Moscow, the Tchaikovsky competition in Moscow. Played the Rachmaninoff Third Piano Concerto. All right, so he's a tall, gangly kid from Texas. Blonde boy, American, and you need to understand that we were, unfortunately, like this moment, in a Cold War with Russia. America and Russia were not friends. And there was this Russian competition. And you would think, well, music isn't going to make a difference in the geopolitical world. Anyway, this is not true, because this little moment happened. This tall, skinny boy from Texas went to Moscow, and the Russian people adored him. He was like their next door neighbor. He was a kid, beautiful, tall kid, and he won. And with that, with all the Russian people loving this American kid, it kind of softened the feelings between Russia and America. And some people feel it had something to do with ending the Cold War. Anyway, he was having a lesson at Juilliard, next door to this, my teacher's studio, with Rosina Levine, great woman. And he brought this in. And she said, too soft. And he said, but Madame Levine, it says here on the score, P. In fact, it has 2 P's. And she said in her best Russian accent, Ve, it's a tune. A tune has a sound. You must play the tune. This is a tune. This is a tune. And so that's what you've got here. You have a tune with a Russian accent. Your left hand is accompaniment. Right now you're being very accurate. You're playing what it says, which is una chord and soft, completely destroying your mind, right? What is that sound? All I know is it's soft, and I'll be correct if I do soft. No, you're not correct. It's merely obedient. But what you want is a tune. That's why I made you play it on your thigh. So I need a little more meat on your sound and a nothing from your left hand. Unfortunately, just give me nothing. Instead of thinking da 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 da, think of decrescendo without slowing up. Yeah. That's right. It's just barely. It's barely. Use your fingers this way. Have you ever been to the dentist?
Yes.
And you've watched people drumming on the table? When is the dentist coming? Do you know how fast this is? Why is it fast? Because your fingers are going down. Now, see how fast you are? Go fast. As long as they're going down from here. Now, as soon as I ask you to pick up your fingers and go fast, it's not quite as fast. So don't ever play this way. But play this way. Yeah, very fast. Very fast. Very fast. Now you go to the dentist. That's very good. Well, I'm going to leave you with just the suggestions that as you make decrescendos, careful about your retards, more balance between a tune and an accompaniment, and it would be good for you to start acquiring something called hand movement instead of all this finger work, because you're working very hard with your fingers. I bet you do a lot of exercises. I bet you do. There you go.
Thank you.
Good luck with your